Kitty cat.
Hey guys, it's Anna and today this is a really exciting video where I show you part 2 on how to make your very own dango. So yep, this is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1 then go check that out. But make sure you guys are ready to make the second half of this dango. So without further ado, let's just get on to the video.
Alrighty guys, so we're going to do 2 more rows with this colour. So we're going to do 1 more row with the eye bands being attached and then 1 row with just a normal row around. That's 2 bands. And then you pop your eye band on this peg, sorry. 2 bands, and then flip it over. Two bands. Then the eye band. And then you're going to continue on with your row. Like so. Now flip over the bottom 4 bands all the way around. Then you're going to push down. And let's do 1 more row all the way around. And this time without the eye bands. So 2 bands. All the way around. Like so. Now let's flip over. Like so. So now let's flip over the bottom 4 bands. Now push down your bands. And you can push up your design. Oh. Ta-da! Alrighty, so for the next row we're going to do a transition row. So I'm going to be doing pink because it's green, then pink, then yellow. So then I'm putting pink to the outside because it's my new colour. So you're going to do this all the way around. Nearly there, guys. You guys can do it. Okay, finally, that took a long time for some reason. But you're gonna flip over the bottom 4 bands. Then straight after we are going to decrease. And you might need to hold your design backwards a little bit when flipping over some bands. Alrighty, so you can kind of pull up your design a little bit, stretch it out, And now we are going to decrease. So first we're going to decrease in this top right corner. So grab the 2 bands. What you're going to do is you're going to take it off and place it on the bottom peg. Take the next 2 bands and place it back on the top peg. You can push that down. And then on the bottom left corner, you're going to grab the first 2 bands, see where it's pulling from, and you want it to look like that when you're pulling it from, not like straight. You want it kind of like twisted. You're gonna push down, grab the nut, the last 2 bands, and pull it to the other pin. So like so. So it's kind of like diagonal, if that makes sense. And now I'm going to do another row all the way around with these pink bands. So for this peg onto that peg, it's just going to be a long stretch, like so. Keep going all the way around, 2 bands. And then here it's going to be just a long stretch. And let's flip over the bottom 4 bands. Watch out, these are the transition bands. And in the corners where you decreased, there's going to be an extra 2 bands to flip over, because you added 2 extra bands on each of the pins. So what I mean by that is because there was 2 extra bands that you placed here from that peg, you're going to have to flip that over as well. So technically you're flipping over until you only have 4 bands on the peg left. If you do that, then you should be all good. Then we got the top pegs and the 2 bands to flip over. Now you can push down. And we are going to decrease again. So we're going to decrease on the bottom right corner and top left corner. So this is the opposite of expanding, if you guys could see. So grab the top 2 bands, the bottom corner, see where it's pulling from. You're going to bring it downwards. Bring up to the upper pin. So first 2 bands. See where it's coming from. Bring it down. And bring the last 2 up. And now these bands can go down one, so just bring it down and pop it on this peg here. So it's like that. You can do that for the bottom one as well. Make sure you don't lose any of your bands in the process, and just pop it back on that peg, making sure you're bringing back all of the bands like so. So obviously we've decreased one whole bit, and it's gonna get smaller. And that's what we want because we don't want to put as many bands on. So let's continue on with another row. So 2 bands all the way around the whole loom. Like so. Now I'm going to flip over the bottom 4 bands all the way around, and remember where you decreased, is you're going to grab an extra 2 bands and flip them over. So then that'll be 6 bands. Like so. Now you can pull up your design. And woohoo, it's coming together slowly. You can see this like part's kind of squished down a bit, but guys, you're doing it, woohoo. Okay, so I'm gonna push down and we're gonna decrease once again. Grab, make sure there's only 4 bands on there. First up, grab the first 2 bands, pull them down, pull the rest up. First 2 bands, pull up. Next 2 bands, pull down. And now, try to like manage this. I don't really know why it's because of the eyes, they just kind of pull it that way. But just kind of work with it and try your best to do it. You're going to flip over the bottom 4 bands and 2 where you decreased. So the bottom 4 bands all the way around the loom. just like always. Like so. Now let's push down. So let's decrease. I'm going to grab bottom left corner. Make sure there's 4 bands on there. Top 2. Pull it upwards. Bottom 2. Pull it back down. As well as upwards. I mean the bottom peg, pull downwards. And the last 2 bands pull upwards. And you're going to grab all the 4 bands and pop it on the loom like so. That's actually going to be 6 bands. And pop it back on the loom, the other peg. And push down and get ready to do another row. Grab 2 bands and go all the way around once again. Like so. So now let's flip over the bottom 4 bands, and of course it's going to be 2 where you decreased. Like so. Now let's push down. And pull your design up. And let's decrease bottom corners. Pull up, no, pull down. One row all the way around. Now let's decrease. So go to the bottom corner, 2 bands, bring it down, and pop this up. Bring it up. Last 2 bands, bring it down. And grab all these bands and bring it down 1 peg. Same as down here. Grab all the bands, place it down a peg. Alrighty, so we are practically downsizing by half now. And let's do a row all the way around. Now flip over the bottom 4 bands. Like so. Now let's pull up. Now we're going to decrease again, but this time we're going to decrease 2 at a time. So it'll be 2 going on 1. So it's going downwards. Last 2 going upwards, and then as we're here, we're also going to decrease the other side. Bring it upwards, bring it downwards, like so. So we're going to do the right and left side as well. Grab the top 2, place it down a peg, and place this one up. Top 2, place this one upwards, place this one downwards. And of course you can bring this back if you want. It's going to be a little bit tricky because there's a lot of bands on here. Make sure you don't lose any of them. And you can bring this one back as well. Okay, so as you can see, it's getting pretty out of hand, but we are almost done. Got some more bands, and we are going to flip over after we put on 1 row all the way around. going to be a little bit tight and a little bit crowded on some pegs. Like so. And on some of them there's going to be 6, so they'll be the corner pegs. But then on the middle pegs there's probably going to be 4 or 6 as well. Like so. Now let's push up. So now we are going to decrease again. Grab 2 bands, the bottom on the top. The opposite side, grab 2, place it upwards. Grab 2, place it downwards. Whoop. Make sure you grab it. Make sure it's on the peg. From here, we're going to do the other side. So just decreasing how we were before. And on this side, as in the top 2 goes up, top 2 goes down. Now we're going to grab all these bands and place it downwards. Make sure you don't lose any of the bands, or you can always just place it where it was and do a long stretch, but I kind of prefer them here instead. This might be a little bit of work. Like so. Okay. So, do the same thing below. And place all the bands on the peg. If you want, you can just flip over 4 bands before you do that, and that could be a way of not losing your bands. So if you lost your bands just then, well, you can always get them back. Whoa, okay. Now we're going to do one last row, guys. One last row. This is a crazy tutorial, I know. It's a little bit hard and very repetitive, but you guys really wanted a tutorial, another one, so I gave it to you guys, and I hope all of you can make this like that. 2 bands. 2 bands. Oh my gosh, it's going to be very crowded in here. Holy moly. 2 bands. And the last 2 bands. Now I can flip over for the last time. You're going to need to flip over 6 bands in total, or like 8 on the ends. So make sure there's 4 bands left. Make sure you don't lose your pegs or the pegs don't slide off. Be very careful and take your time. Awesome, okay. So now, we are nearly done. All we got to do is take it off the loom. So, grab your hook. This is a very important part, so don't mess this up or else you can lose your design. Go through the bands on your hook by going in and taking it off very slowly. Then you can do this all the way around. I forgot to flip over on this one. Whoopsie-daisies. Grab it, and grab it. Okay, so like that. Got your last 2 bands. Whew. And we're gonna slip knot it. Oh, I just hit the camera, sorry about that. And uh-oh, that snapped. That snapped. Oh gosh. Okay, it's not gonna snap for you guys, but just hopefully, oh gosh, hopefully I can get this back. If you just let go of all the bands and kind of like pull it out, ow, like so, it's gonna be a little hard to get it back, but let's attempt to. Gonna be a long time. Okay, so I've got them all back on the hook. That's like a lot more than what was on the hook. But I'm going to grab 3 bands just in case, because all of them literally snapped. Okay, so I'm going to do it like very, very slowly, and how you do that is you grab it with your fingers and then take it over. So there's no risk of you losing your bands. And of course I lost my bands. Woohoo! Guess that's only going to be 1 band holding it all together. So only 1 band made it. Yippee. And I'm just going to slip knot that. That is most definitely going to snap, but oh, okay. Okay, well, we are finished. If you guys had a little trouble with that, it's all good in the end. Hopefully it is for you, but we need experiences like this for future designs. And yeah, okay, so now we can just like zoom out here. Look at all these snap bands. That is relatable. Okay, so stretch him out, him. And look guys, you finally made it! Woohoo! Okay, so all we gotta do is we gotta stuff it obviously, because it's looking a little bit flat and this needs to be stretched out. But we can fix up all the blemishes after. But first let's get our stuffing. So for stuffing you can use tissues or stuffing or even bands or old designs. It really doesn't matter. But I recommend stuffing because it looks a lot better and it's easier to get inside the design. So here I got a whole bunch of stuffing. I'm just going to pull it apart so it's easier for it to get in the Dango. This is so soft. Oh, it's good for my hands after that whole sitting. Oh my gosh, that took forever. Alrighty, so now we're going to find a place in the Dango, so it doesn't really matter. I recommend doing it on the back. And you're just going to stick your hook in. And grab it. And you're going to kind of like just separate a hole. And that hole is going to be where your stuffing is going to go in. So obviously, make sure you don't stretch a lot so then the bands break. We're going to slowly, piece by piece, thread the stuffing inside. And you can always have a friend or your siblings to help you with this. Get them to stretch it apart, but I can do it by myself. So you can maybe get like a whole bunch and just work it through Make sure your hands don't cut off from circulation. That would be bad. And obviously we're going to need a lot more. So let's find that place again. And let's put all of this in. So, I'm just going to roll it out a little bit. Such a big design that you can really do whatever you want. Kind of use your hook to squish down the stuffing where your hole was made. And now we can stretch out our dango. Stretch out the bottom in particular because that's how stretchy and how tight it was. And also stretch it downwards so the shape of the dango a bit more rounded. You can kind of squish it up a bit and squish this down a bit. That's what I tended to do, so it's more of a roundish dango. And maybe go through and kind of pull in certain places or bands that are sticking out too much. Like here, that's a band that sticks out a bit. Just try not to catch any stuffing on your way. Pull it back in. Oh my gosh, look, I caught some stuffing. Dang it. And also here where the transitions are, you might need to go in and pull that in so you can't see it. And also with the eyes, you're gonna need to make it so that it's straight. So what I do is I just take the two bands and kind of pull it, not too hard because you don't want it to snap. And that's what makes it like nice and full and more of a line. And voila, you have made the dango, guys. I'm so proud of you. If you've made it to this point, congrats. And of course, guys, you need to share this with me. If you've made it, of course, you guys work so hard on it that you need to let me know and tag me in a photo on Instagram. So if you do have Instagram, please follow me on Kittycatloom, and also my new Instagram account for my rainbow loom and my YouTube, that's called Kittycatloom Official. So go follow those two accounts. And yep, so that is the dango. Here is the other one. They're really cute. They turned out really, really well. But first off, let's get the original. Here is the OG with the rainbow. If you guys did a rainbow, woo! I just kind of do random colors, or you can do pattern. But yeah, whoa! I've made 3 dangos. That is a lot for me. But yeah, you guys are amazing. I love you guys so much. If you guys stuck with me for this whole entire video, good job to you. You are amazing. I really had fun looming with you guys, and I really hope to see you next time. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! And this is what happens when you film a YouTube video for Rainbow Loom. But I'm so excited that I made this, and I have 3 now. They're called the Trio Dangos. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the shoutouts. Bye!
Alrighty guys, I really hope you guys loved this video and you were able to make these cute little guys. I really hope you guys found this tutorial better and that you were able to follow along easily. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And like this video so a lot of people can also make these guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!